Hello there, Doer. Welcome into this training where I'm going to be walking you through and showing you the things that you'll need in your ultimate automation toolkit. So the great news is that right now, this day and age, today, is in my opinion, the best time in history to automate your business. The tools, honestly, they have never been better. When I started with automation back in 2010, I got to say, it was still great for my business, of course, but it used to be really, really hard, right? It used to be quite techie to set it up and to manage it, you kind of had to do pretty complicated setups. And it was sort of expensive too. So it wasn't really made for small business owners. It was more for the big companies and big telcos. The great news is we are riding this fantastic wave right now. So automation tools right now, the ones that are available to us as female entrepreneurs, they're incredible. They're super easy to use. And they're really affordable, like solo entrepreneur kind of affordable. And the great news is no one's doing it. Like very few entrepreneurs are embracing these tools. So when you and I do, we win. So in the following videos, we're going to really choose the tools that are best suited for you and your business because there's not a really one size fits all. There's going to be a few options I'm going to give you to allow you to truly automate. So these tools, they're going to be your quiet little worker bees, right? Ticking along 24/7 for your business, loving up your prospects and customers like you would. Now, if you've ever looked into automating in the past, you're going to be only too aware of how many tools there are out there. They do all kind of similar things, but they're all so different, and all of them hate each other and bag out each other's systems. Like there are hundreds and hundreds of automation tools, and if you've chosen the wrong one in the past, my heart bleeds for you. You'll know how huge a mistake that can be when you try and put band-aids on it and patch it up to sort of make it work for your business, right? And how detrimental that can be to your bottom line if you don't pick the right tool for your unique business. So I discovered pretty early on, running a manual business was heading me fast towards burnout. I realized there was no way I was going to be able to keep doing it. No way I was going to be able to keep going for another week, another day, let alone 10 years or however long I was supposed to build this business for. I had to get smart. I had to get the right tools to automate. So at that point for me, I embarked on a mission. I reviewed and compared systems. Let me tell you, over the years, I have trialed and tested or used in a business or sat down with development teams all across the world, in Singapore, the US, here in Australia, hundreds and hundreds of systems. So if you've heard of it, I've probably used it or tested it or trialed it. So from Infusionsoft to GetResponse to ActiveCampaign to Campaign Monitor, Salesforce, Zapier, Kajabi, Calendly, Stripe, NetSuite, there are like so many tools out there. Whenever I'm investigating a new tool though, I run it past this pretty intense list of criteria that I've developed of the things that I look for in a tool. There's 27 in total things that I look for, but the most important ones are, it's got to be easy to use. Like I don't want to have to learn to code or feel super intimidated. It'll just slow it down. I'll probably give up. It'll just make it harder. So it's got to be easy to use. It's also got to have great support. They've got to have some form of 24/7 chat or amazing help resources. It's got to work in my time zone when I want support. Like I want to be able to pick up a phone or chat to an expert rather than, those systems where you've got those support tickets and you submit a ticket and then 2 days later you get a response and they didn't understand your question. So you go again and by then you've already kind of figured it out yourself, right? I don't like those. They don't really get your problem. And so I want to have really quick, prompt, easy to use support when I need help. Thirdly, it's got to be affordable. I don't do contracted, you got to stick around in it. I do contract free with my systems. I was talking to a woman in Melbourne recently and I remember she came up to me and she said, Grace, I've chosen a system for my business. It's, get this, $1,000 a month. And I had to sign a contract for 24 months. I'm my second month in and it's not right for my business. Like that will destroy her business. She's in startup stage, 24 months. And I talked to her about it and she's like, it's a bye-bye, see you later, baby. Like there's no getting out of this contract. That will cripple your business. You and I, we cannot afford that kind of investment. We need to be able to be contract free, low price points, none of those kind of custom builds. Plus the system also has to be growing. If I'm investing in a tool, I need to see that it's going to be there for the long term and it's going to grow with my business. Never. And so many people do this and they disagree with me because they think it's going to be custom and then they come back and tell me that it's burned their business and their automation. Don't ever use a one-man band. If you ever have someone come up to you and say, hey, I'll build your automation system for you, run in the other direction. I love web developers. I use them all the time. Do not have a one-man band build your automation tools for you. They will never compare with the ones that are currently in the marketplace that are investing millions of dollars into that platform. For example, when I chose my system back in 2013 that I'm using still today, I wanted to make sure it was going to grow with me and move with technology. Technology moves so fast, so I wanted it to grow with me. So I actually, because I'm a little bit of an automation nerd, back in the day, I flew over to the US, went to Phoenix, checked out the office there. I remember walking into the office and it was like one of those full-on US sort of Google-style offices where there's 700 cereal bar, and they had a massive full-sized gridiron pitch in the middle of the office, just in case you felt like kicking, punting, whatever, a gridiron, while you were brainstorming automation. It was one of those kinds of offices. And I remember I said, hey, can I see the developers? I want to see, I have no idea what they do, but I want to go and check out how many you've got and what that kind of part of it looks like, because these are the guys that are building my system. And they're always making sure it's better and bigger than everything else. And so they took me downstairs. It was down in this like kind of basement level. All the lights were off, which I found very weird. And there were at least 200. These were just the onshore US. There was also a team offshore in the Philippines. There was over 200 developers from as far as I could see. They were just sitting in rows all the way back, all their little computers lit up, and they were sitting on, Fitballs, all these ergonomic chairs, all wearing headphones, just doing this. Right? They were my guys. They were coding my system for me. That is what you want in a business. You will always outspend, and you will never be fast enough if you're using a one man or even a 15-man band. It just won't grow quickly enough.